If you want, you can do one thing. Because I've increased the time for slot duration, I can do one thing. I can select minimum 1 and maximum 3. So 3 people can book for this same slot. Okay, same time slot. So 1 hour, we can have 3 people booking for same 1 hour time slot. So if you want, you can have multiple booking. If you want to disable that, you can do that thing as well. Now you can also set the work hours. So this is the minimum time. From this time, this booking will start and it will stop at 5. So maybe instead of 8, it starts at 10, and instead of 5, it goes on till maybe 19, till 7 p.m. So we'll select this thing, click on save, and you can do the same thing for other dates. And as you can see, Saturday and Sunday are basically off. You cannot have any booking. So here also, if you see, okay, we have not made that thing over here. So if you want to keep that like this, nobody will be able to book on Saturdays and Sundays. But if you want to do that thing, if you want to enable booking on Saturdays and Sundays as well, you can select this and you can type in or select the timing for Saturdays and Sundays. Okay. All right. Maybe let me select this, save. So people can now book on Saturday, but not on Sunday. So you can select this thing. You can have some day offs as well. So whatever days you select, those days will be off. So if there is any, public holiday, anything like that, you can select that day. Now that day booking will be disabled on that day. You can select that. Now click on next. Then after that, we also want to integrate WooCommerce. Now WooCommerce, you should only integrate WooCommerce if you're planning to accept online payments. If you're planning to have cash on delivery, or if you're planning to have cash payment, so whenever a patient comes or customer comes, then they have to make the payment there during appointment, then you can disable this thing. But if you want to enable online payment, if you want to receive online payment, you can enable WooCommerce integration. Now click on finish, and with this setup is now completed. Now let's do one thing. Let's create a single doctor and a single service. So if you click on services, no services present, click on add new service, and let's add a new service. Let's go to services page or departments page in this case, and maybe let's add plastic surgery. So I'll add this under title. Then after that, if you come back to this option, we also have this excerpt at bottom. So I'll copy it and I'll open this plastic surgery. Now that excerpt will be shown over here. So whatever you type in under excerpt, it will display over here at bottom, and whatever you type in under title, so here as you can see, it will display it as title. Then we have the icon. Let's set this icons. So click on this icon option. You can also set a price per slot. So per slot price is maybe $10. We'll set dollar, pound, we'll change the currency in the next step. Right now you can just enter the price. So maybe I want to keep it at dollars. So $10 per slot. To upload this icon, click on choose media and upload this file. Maybe let me do one thing. Let me just go ahead and upload all the different images at once. Now click on open. Now these two are the icons which are given to you, but if you don't see any icon of your choice, you can go to this website, icons8.com, and here you can create your own icon. So maybe let's search for scissor icon. If you just search for that, click on search. Now here as you can see, we have hundreds of different icons, some colorful, some simple. Now you can use any one of these icons on your website. If you want to select an icon and if you want to change the color, you can do that thing as well. So for example, if you want to use this simple icon, you can click on this, and if you want to recolor this thing, click on recolor. Now because most of the icons are, all the icons here are this blue color, you can select this blue color from here. Now as you can see, the icon color is changed. You can select some other blue color as well. You can click on this thing if you want to select some other color or some light shade of this color, or if you have your own color code, you can just paste in the color code. You will have that exact color. Now once you select this thing, you can now click on download, and you can select the file. Now, I would recommend you to select at least 100 pixels. Select this, click on download. Now come back to this website. Whatever icon you want, you can choose that icon and click on choose media. So as you can see, this is selected. Now under consultation text, if you remember, if I open plastic surgery, this was our consultation text, plastic surgery consultation, or whatever your text is. You can copy this thing. Then we have description one. This data over here, this is under this will be our description one, and this data at bottom, okay, this is your description 2. Paste it over here. Then we have the gallery images. So these two images or whatever image you want, click on choose file. Let me select these two files from here, not this, these two. Click on choose images or choose media. These two images will be your gallery images. Okay. Now at the right hand side, we have added this excerpt. Now we also need to select a doctor for this service. but we have not yet created any doctor, so we can do that later on. Now we can also set a featured image. This featured image will be displayed at top. So if you see, this is your title, plastic surgery, and below or behind that title, if you see, that is your image. This image is your featured image. So let me upload some featured image. I'll select this, click on set featured image. And with this, we have created our first service or department. Now you can just go ahead and publish it. If you come back, you can see this thing. If you just view this in a new tab, it will look like this. Only title and this featured image is present because we have not yet designed this thing. We have not yet created the layout that we want for this data to display. So that is the reason why only this title and featured image is displaying. Rest everything is blank. So later on in this video, we'll see how to do that thing, how to design this thing, how to create a layout, how to create a structure, and how to design all those different things. Now let's create a doctor. So click on doctors, click on add new doctor. Let me open a single doctor from here. So this is your doctor name. I'll copy the name, paste it under title. Then after that, specialty, whatever it is, just copy that, paste it under this, expertise. Okay, this is this. Maybe under specialty, I'll type in plastic surgery specialist, because we have created that plastic surgery, service. That is the reason why. Length of work, rest everything, I'll just keep it same. Maybe since 2014 or some other text. Then we have email. I'll copy the email, paste it over here. We have the phone number. We'll paste it over here. We have the certificates, which are these. Click on choose media. I've just given you a few demo or dummy certificates. You can just choose them. Now specialties. Okay, these. So I'll copy this first line, paste, click on add new, paste in this thing, copy the second line, add new, paste in this thing. Then we have the third line. All right. So as many qualifications as you want or specializations if you want, just keep on adding these text. All right. And finally, we have this thing. Okay. So I'll copy this thing and this will be our content. Then we have the featured image, which is and price per slot also, maybe $25. Featured image will be the image of the doctor. Under excerpt, I'll type in maybe the specialty under excerpt, right? Now we can select this service so that we can link this doctor with that service. So I'll select service and we have created plastic surgery. So if I search for plastic, as you can see, this is the one. Now I can publish it. Now this doctor is linked with that service. If you want to confirm that thing, you can first make sure to publish it. Right. So once it is published, you can come back and you can go to service and confirm whether this link has happened or not. So if you open plastic surgery at the right hand side under doctors, now as you can see, that doctor is selected. So they are now linked. Now let's do one thing. Let's install WooCommerce plugin. So if you want to accept online payments, we need this plugin WooCommerce. And after that, we'll see how to integrate different payment gateways with this plugin. So for that, from the left hand side, click on plugins, add new. And to add a new plugin, we need to search for this. So under search plugins, search for Woo or just search for WooCommerce, enter the entire name. This is the one, WooCommerce by Automattic. Install this plugin. Now once it is installed, we need to activate this plugin. So click on this activate button. And once you activate it, you will see a quick pop-up, basically a quick setup for this plugin. All right, so as you can see, this is the setup page. You can just enter your address over here, enter your state name and country name. All right, then after that, enter your city name and after that, your postal code. Now click on continue. No thanks. Now this is also just a simple survey. Now this is just a simple survey. So whatever you want, you can select that. So in which industry does your store operate? Anything will do. Just select anything, click on continue. Just don't tick mark any one of those paid ones. Now, how many products do you plan to sell? Whether you're selling anywhere currently, you can select that, click on continue. Now over here, you will see they will ask you to install few plugins, which are not really important, not required. So we can untick and click on continue. Now they will recommend you few themes. Again, we have the theme which is required. So select this and click on continue with my active theme. We don't need any one of these themes. And with that, we have completed your setup. Now, if you click on pages, here as you can see earlier, we had only this sample page. Now we have the cart page, checkout page, my account, all these pages created for you because of this setup. Now this was just a quick setup. We need to integrate the payment gateway as well. So for that you need to hover over this WooCommerce and click on settings. Now we have entered the address and all. You can do one thing, you can go ahead and change the currency. By default it is US dollar. If you want maybe Indian rupee, you can search for Indian rupee. As you can see, Indonesian rupiah, whatever you want, you can select that and click on save changes. Now if you also want to enable taxes, you can tick mark this thing, enable taxes and calculation, and click on save changes. If you want to charge taxes on these appointments, now once you enable taxes, you can now go to this tax tab. And for example, suppose maybe it is there is 10% tax on this. So you can go to additional tax classes, press enter to come to a new line and type in GST 10. So in our country it is called GST. If in your country it is called VAT, just type in VAT 10 and click on save changes. Or if it is VAT 15%, VAT 15, something like that. Now because I've added this GST 10, here at top a new option is created for me, GST 10 rates. I need to click on this option. Now click on insert row, enter your country code. So for India it is IN. Now leave this state, postal and city, come to rate. I'll type in 10% over here, and under tax name I'll type in GST 10. Now untick shipping because you are not shipping any product. Click on save changes. Now just leave this shipping tab because you are not shipping or delivering any physical product. This is just an appointment thing. Come to payments. Now by default you will see only 3 options are available. If you want to enable cash on delivery as well, you can do that. And after that we have direct bank transfer, check payments and all. Click on save changes for now. Now to integrate different payment gateways, you will need to install different plugins. So for that I'll open this plugins tab I'll open this plugins option in a new tab. Click on add new. Now I'll show you 3 different plugins. First will be PayPal, because obviously it is very popular, very commonly used throughout the world. So we'll see how to integrate PayPal, then we'll see how to integrate Stripe. Now Stripe is one of the most popular payment gateways, and you can accept online credit, debit card payments right on your website. So that is really cool. And Stripe is very popular mostly in the developed countries. So if you see US, Australia, Europe, the entire Europe and all. So in these countries it is accepted. So you can select Stripe. And third payment gateway will be Razorpay, which is the most popular payment gateway in India. In fact, the best payment gateway in India. So I'll select that thing. So first let's search for PayPal. You'll see this plugin, PayPal WooCommerce checkout payment gateway. Install this thing. Then you need to search for Stripe. Make sure it is by WooCommerce. Okay, this also WooCommerce Stripe payment gateway. Make sure it is by WooCommerce. Install this thing. And finally, the third one is Razorpay. All right. Obviously, if you want some other payment gateway, you can search for that. You can install the plugin for that, and you can integrate that payment gateway. So we'll select Razorpay for WooCommerce. Install this one. Now once you've installed all the 3 or whatever number of plugins if you have installed, now we can click on install plugins from the left hand side. Tick mark all 3 plugins, and now we can activate them. So under bulk action, select activate and click on apply. Right, now again if you come back to this WooCommerce payments and refresh this page, now as you can see we have many more options. Make sure you enable Stripe, PayPal and Razorpay, which is right here. Okay, so all 3 are enabled. Now let's first click on save changes. Let's see one by one how we can integrate them. So first let's see PayPal. Click on PayPal checkout. Now to integrate PayPal or to accept PayPal payment on your website, you need the PayPal Live API username, password and signature. And for that you need to go and log into your PayPal account. If you don't already have, obviously you need to create a new PayPal account. Now any kind of PayPal account will do. So whether you have a business PayPal account or a regular one, it will do. Now once you log into your PayPal account, you have to do some changes in the URL bar. Type in this thing, type in paypal.com, and after that type in /businessmanage/credentials/API access. And if you see A in access is capital. So see that thing, press enter, you will land on this page. Scroll down and select this option MVP/SOAP API integration. Click on manage API credentials. And here you will get your username, password and signature. Show your username. Come back over here, paste it under username. And similarly, you need to click on show, copy your password, paste it under password, show your signature, copy it and paste it under signature. I'll have to hide these things. Now once you do that thing, just go ahead at the bottom and click on save changes. Now let's see our next option. Again, come back to payments. Let's see how we can set up Stripe. So select Stripe. And for that, you need to go to this website, dashboard.stripe.com, basically the dashboard of the Stripe website. Again, just log into your account, or if you don't already have an account with Stripe, you can just create a new account within a minute. So it is very easy to create a new account. Now under Stripe, you will see this developers option. Click on that. And under developers, you will see at the left hand side API keys. Select that option. Now you will get your publishable key and your secret key. Click on publishable key. It will be copied. Come over here. First of all, disable test mode. Paste it under publishable key. It should say live publishable key, not test publishable key. So make sure you disable this thing. Then also copy your secret key. Now again, come back to this page and paste it under live secret key. Go ahead at the bottom and click on save changes. And finally, let's see how we can set up Razorpay. Steps are almost same. Click on Razorpay first of all. Just like we went to dashboard.stripe.com, now you need to go to dashboard.razorpay.com. Again, just make sure to log into your account. And now from the left hand side, click on settings. Click on API keys. You will get your key ID and key secret. Basically, you'll get, if you're doing this for the first time, you need to click on that, create a new key. And then after that, it will download a new file for you. And that file will look something like this. If you open this, it will be an Excel file. You will have your key ID and also your key secret. Okay, you need to just copy these things from here and paste in under this option. All right, under key ID and secret. So here you have key ID, key secret. Just paste in that thing and click on save changes. Then after that, you can also start accepting payments through Razorpay. Now once you do this payment thing, now you can click on accounts and privacy. Here, tick mark this thing, allow customers to log into an existing account during checkout, allow customers to create an account during checkout, allow customers to create an account on the My Account page. And untick these bottom things. We don't want username and password to be automatically generated for our users. So we need to untick these two things. Now go ahead at the bottom again, click on save changes. Finally, click on advanced and make sure that under cart page, your cart page is selected, checkout, and obviously under My Account, your My Account page should be selected. If it is not, you can just search for My Account over here. You will see a My Account page. Click on that. It will be selected. Now click on Save Changes. All right, again, come back to your dashboard. All right, so till now what we have done is we have created these two different post types, custom post types for single doctor and single department. Then after that, we have created these meta fields to collect these datas like the expertise, length of work. We have created these things. So basically we have completed till here. Now only part left is this bottom part, this form. Now we need to create two different forms, one for a single doctor and one for single department. So if you see single doctor form looks something like this. So first they will have to select the service for this doctor, and after that they will have to select the date and time, and after that they will have to follow the process. Then we have the single service form, and in this page they'll have to select a doctor that provides this service, then they will follow the data and time, and next then they can follow the process. So these two forms are left. Once we create these two forms, after that we can start designing these pages. Like we can start creating the layout where we want to display which data and how to design that thing. So come back to your dashboard. Let's start with single service form. Okay, so if you see, this is your single department or single service page, and this is how your form looks like. Okay, so your form starts from here. First we have this heading, choose a doctor. Then we have this thing, they will have to select this drop down, they'll have to select a doctor, then another heading, and then this calendar. So let's see how we can design this thing. So for that, you'll need to hover over Jet Engine and click on forms. Okay, if you don't see that option, it will be at bottom, but if for some reason if you don't see it, just refresh this page, refresh your dashboard page. Now once you refresh it, let's see it again. All right, so again we don't see, so if you don't see this thing, what we can do is we can click on Jet Engine. We need to enable few things. We need to enable this grid gallery. This is what we'll be using for gallery. We need to enable calendar, forms, and this one, dynamic visibility for widgets and sections. So we need to enable these four modules: grid gallery, calendar, forms, and dynamic visibility. Now click on save. Now once you click on save, now as you can see at bottom under Jet Engine, you have this forms. Now before we proceed to forms, let's actually see one thing. If you click on products, you should see one product automatically created for you. If you don't see that product automatically created, it means that your website is not completely linked with WooCommerce. So to fix that thing, we need to do one thing. We need to hover over appointments, click on settings. And here as you can see, we had WooCommerce integration on. Let's do one thing. Let's make it off. It will automatically be saved. As you can see, it says settings saved, and again turn it on. Again, once it says settings saved, let's try it again. Click on products from the left hand side, which is over here. And now as you can see, this appointment product is created for you automatically, which simply means that now this is linked. Now WooCommerce is linked with this plugin, Jet Appointment plugin. Now let's proceed to forms. So under Jet Engines at the bottom, you'll see forms. Click on that. Now once you click on forms, you should see 2 forms created for you. In this case, I don't see that thing. So what we can do is to do that thing again. We can just very quickly set up this appointment plugin again. So hover over appointments and click on setup. Let's very quickly do that thing. It will say that plugin is already set up. We can click on reset and we can set it up again. So under services, just select that services that we created. Then select provider. We have already done that thing. Select doctors, which is our provider. Now click on next. Add a new thing over here. Name it phone. Comments. Now again click on next. You can set this thing however you want it. I've explained you this thing. Now click on next again. Now in this page, I think last time we did not select this option, create a form in. So in this option, you need to select this option, Jet Engine Forms. Okay. So that it will create forms under this Jet Engine Forms. And again, make sure WooCommerce integration is on. Click on finish. Now here, as you can see at the bottom, it says created form. They have created 2 different forms for you. Single service and static page. You can see that thing under Jet Engine Forms. So under Jet Engine Forms, click on this option. Now as you can see, these 2 forms are created for you. Now let's first see this single service booking form. Click on edit. So basically it is this form for single service. Now at very top, you will see service ID. Leave it as it is. After that, you have username, provider ID, all these things. We need to do some changes. So here, first of all, the very first thing that we need at top is this heading, choose a doctor. So I'll copy this thing, click on add field. And as you can see, this field is added over here. Click on pencil button to edit this field. Under type, it should be heading, which is over here. Select heading. Under label, type in choose a doctor. And after that, click on apply changes and bring this thing just below service ID. So at top, always you will see service ID. After that, we have the heading. Now below heading, we have this thing, choose a doctor. So basically we have to choose a provider. So provider ID. So bring this provider ID. It is already created for you. Bring it below heading thing. So now at top, heading says choose a doctor. Then we have a provider ID. You can click on this pencil button to do some changes in the provider ID. Everything is fine. Just make sure to delete the label. We don't need this label over here because we have already added choose a doctor title. We don't want another title at bottom which says select a provider. So we can delete this label. Okay. Rest everything is good over here. Click on apply changes. Then after that, we have another header which says choose date and time. So we'll click on add field, pencil button. Instead of text, we'll again select heading, type in choose date and time and click on apply changes. Bring this thing just below provider ID. And now below this thing, we need this form. Okay. We need basically this calendar, which is this option, appointment date. Bring this appointment date below this header. Now edit this thing. And here we don't have the label, so we don't need to do anything. It is correct. So you can click on apply changes or just cancel this thing. Now below appointment date, what we have is, now as you can see, we have this next page button. So somebody can click on this button, they can go to the next page. So we need to add a page break. So here you will see this button, add page break. Click on this button and bring it below appointment date. Okay. So we have this button. Now once they select this button, let's see what happens in the next step. Suppose if I select this doctor, some date and slot. All right. Now if I click on next, now in the next step, as you can see, again, we have a header. Okay. At top, which says confirmation. And after that, we have few fields. So I'll copy this heading, come over here, click on add field, edit this thing. Again, select heading and label will be confirmation. And this time you also need to tick mark this thing, add previous page button. Here, as you can see in this step, we also have this previous page button. Somebody can click on back and they can come to this page. And for that, you can type under previous page button. If you type in just text like back, it will display this text. If you want to display this icon as well, this left arrow icon, you can type in like this and LARR, left arrow basically, semicolon back. So this is the code for that left arrow and LARR, which is left arrow, semicolon, and after that this text which says back. Okay, so it will give you this button. Now click on save changes. Now below this thing we have your name. So basically the name field. Click on add field, edit this thing, text, it is fine. Now instead of field name, instead of this field name, type in username. And we also have this placeholder. As you can see inside this form, it says your name. So that is our placeholder. We'll type in that thing under placeholder. Now click on save changes and bring this thing, username below. Let's see. Yeah, below this. Okay, we did not bring this header over here. First we have this heading, confirmation heading, then the username, then the user email is already created. As you can see, just make sure you click on this pencil button and don't have this, label. We don't want this label. We just want this placeholder. It says your email inside that form. So we'll type in that thing under placeholder. Okay, rest everything is good. Click on save changes. Now below email we have phone field, and after that we have this calculation field. So first click on add field, edit this thing, text, and under field type we have to select telephone. Okay, so this will give you that telephone thing. And under name we have to type in user phone. And again under placeholder it says your phone. So under placeholder we'll type in your phone and click on apply changes. Bring this thing below user email. Then below that thing, it says this, it has this book now button, but before book now button we have this text. So basically it will calculate the price and it will display that price over here. So click on add field, edit this thing, instead of text search for calculated, which is over here. Under field name we can type in total. You can just type in total like this. I'll type in one thing, this underscore before total, so underscore total. Now under total we want to display the price. Okay, first we have this text price. Okay, this is your this is basically your prefix. So I'll copy it and I'll enter under prefix. Okay, so price in dollars, and after that the actual price. Now to display the actual price we need to copy a code. We need to copy this much, percentage meta double colon. Okay, like this. And after that, instead of price percentage, what I'll type in, I'll come back to dashboard. Let me show you what I want to type over here. We are creating this single service. So if you see, we have created this single service. If you click on add services, if you edit this thing, we have this slot price over here. We have the price per slot, and you can see the name of this is this underscore app underscore price. So copy this thing, paste it over here, and after that type in percentage asterisk 1. So basically multiply it by 1. If you don't understand anything, don't worry, just type in this thing that you see on your screen, percentage meta colon underscore app underscore price percentage asterisk 1. Okay, so basically just type in this thing even if you don't understand it. Now click on apply changes, bring this thing just above this book now button. Now the button is fine, but we need to change the text. Instead of book now it says make an appointment. So we'll type in that thing, click on this pencil button, and here it says book now. Instead of this I'll type in make an appointment. Now click on apply changes. So we have created this form. Now what happens when somebody submits this form? So that we have it over here, post submit action. First we have insert appointment. So edit this thing. Just make sure under user email we have this user email selected. Under phone we have user phone, select that thing as well, and rest everything is good. As you can see under service ID is selected, under provider ID, appointment date, everything is good. So we can click on apply changes. Now below this thing I want to do one more thing. I want to add another notification and I want to send email. So if you click on this pencil button, you have some options. You can redirect them somewhere, you can add their email to MailChimp, you can do a lot of things. I want to send an email, and I want to send an email to this person who submits this form. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll select mail to email from submitted form field. So basically what I'm trying to do is whenever someone submits this form, they'll enter their name, email, phone number. So I want to send them an email wherein they have all the appointment details, like this is the name of the doctor, this is the consultation that you have selected for, this is the time and date, all those details will be mailed to them. So under mail to, we'll select email from submitted form field. So whatever email they enter over here, this detail will be sent to this email address. Under from field, you have to select user email. Then you can type in any subject if you want. Now from name. So it will be from your name. So whatever your website name is. So I named my website Jet Booking, if you remember. Okay. And from email address. So you can create an email address with your website name like info@blogdude.com or whatever your website name is. Or you can just enter your Gmail address. Alright. Now you need to enter the content that you want to send them. For example, I can type in hi username. So you can get the code for username. So it will say hi username. So if the username is, for example, Nayyar Sheikh, so it will say hi Nayyar Sheikh instead of this code. Then after that, you can type in something like you have successfully booked an appointment. Okay, type in something like that. Okay, and here are the details, what service they have selected, and to display the service name you can copy this thing, service title thing. Okay, doctor's name, so just doctor, and then after that provider title, whatever the name of the doctor is. Okay, date and time, you can select this option, appointment date and time. Okay, starts over here, ends at this place. So this is the start time, appointment starts. Okay, this is the code for that, and after that appointment ends. This much is the code, ends. Okay, so you can type in something like that, thank you, your website name again at bottom, whatever your website name is. Okay, so you can create your own form. I've just shown you very quickly. This is one example. Now click on save changes or apply changes, and you have completed this thing. Now you can just go ahead and update this form. So this form is created. So similarly, if you come back, we have one more form, static page booking form, but we don't have this single doctor booking form. So we have created this form for single service. If you go to single doctor, we have another form over here. Okay, we need to create this form. So let me show you how we can do this thing. Come back to this forms. Now just to save some time, what we can do is we can duplicate this form, single service booking form, duplicate it. And here, as you can see, it is duplicated. We have this copy. You can edit this thing. And instead of single service, I'll type in single doctor booking form. Remove this copy from here. First of all, just update this thing. Now, very first thing we have is this service ID. This is not a service, this is doctor. So we'll change this thing. Instead of service ID, I'll type in doctor ID. All right. Click on apply changes. Then we have the heading. Let's see single doctor page. Now here heading says choose a service instead of choose a doctor. So we'll edit the heading and we'll change the label. Click on save changes. Then we have the appointment provider. Here this user does not have to select the provider. They have to select the service. Now edit this thing, provider ID. Click on this pencil button. Now instead of appointment provider, we want to display a radio. Okay, so this is the radio style. So we want to display this thing. So we'll select radio. And instead of provider ID, we don't want to display providers. We want to display services. So we'll type in services. So under name, just type in services. Now under fill option, what you want to display, we have to select post type. So select this posts. Post type, you have to select services. Now once you do this thing, now click on just save changes. That is done. Now here, as you can see, it says services. Then another heading, which is this heading. This is fine. Choose date and time. And after that, we have this form. Now we just need to do few changes in this form. So the title is good. The heading is good. Under this appointment date, edit this thing. Now because we have duplicated this form was created for service ID. So it was getting the current post ID, and for provider, it was just displaying the form field. But because this is for provider, under service ID, we need to select form field, and under provider ID, we need to select current post ID. So just the opposite, because this is for some other post type, and we need to select this services field. Okay, so this is the services field. We have named it services. Select this field. Now just click on apply changes. Now after that, everything is same. They will see this page break. Then they will go to next page, and heading, then username, email, phone, total, everything is same. Okay, so we can just leave it as it is. Now what happens after they submit the form? First, you have to select this insert appointment. And here you have to make sure that under service ID, all these things are selected. Select services under service ID. Under provider ID, select this option, doctor ID, because this is our provider. Then make sure under phone, this phone is selected, and under username, all these things are selected. Now click on apply changes. And with this, we have completed this form as well. Click on update. Now again, come back to this forms. Now finally, we have this static form page. I would recommend you to delete this thing. Now you can simply do one thing. I have created my own custom, static page form. You can just import that, and I'll show you later on in this video. In fact, at the end of the video, how you can use that static page form, because these two are the most important one. That is just an extra form, but I'll show you how you can use that extra form as well. So as I said earlier, I'll show you how to use this folder. Now in this folder, you will see form and pop-up. Under form, you will see this form is created, static page booking form. you need to import this form. So come over here, click on import from, choose files and select that file that I've just shown you, static page booking form under file, under form and pop-up. Click on start import. And now as you can see, this form is imported. We just need to make sure that everything is correct over here. So if you see this service ID, if you edit this thing, okay, under post type, make sure you have selected services. And now click on save changes and provider ID. I think it's good. Right. Now if there is any problem with this, we'll come back to this thing later on. For now, we can just update it. And with this, we have completed all technical part related to this website. So we have created custom post types, we have created these meta fields, and we have also created these forms. Now only the designing part is left. So let's see how we can design it. So first what we'll do is we'll design this archive page for services, basically this page wherein we can display all these services. And after that, we'll design a single service page, okay, like this. And then after that, we'll see doctor's archive page and single doctor page. So let's first see department page or services archive page. So for that, we'll use these pages from the left hand side. Now click on add new and make sure you give some other title. Don't name it services. If you name it services, then your permalink, as you can see at the right hand side, if you see, it will be services. It should not be same. If you remember, we have named our custom post types also services, so that could create some problems. So just change this thing a little bit. Instead of services, type in all services and make sure your custom URL is also different. I'll type in all services over here instead of services. Okay. Now you can do one thing under template, make sure it is full with content layout, and we don't need breadcrumbs. So you can disable breadcrumb at the bottom, use breadcrumb. You can disable it and you can publish this page. And now we can use Elementor to design this page. So click on this button, edit with Elementor. Now here, very first thing is we have this header section. So we'll copy the header. Maybe this is our title. So I'll copy it, come over here, click on this plus button and we'll add a single row. Maybe let me do one thing. Let me first explain you this Elementor thing. What is this Elementor? How does this thing work? So Elementor is basically a page builder. So by name itself, you can make out that this is used to create and design different pages. Now how this works, at the left hand side, you'll see there are many different elements. We'll use these elements to design all the other pages. For example, this is the page that we have designed, home page, service single page, archive page. All these pages are designed using this Elementor page builder, using these widgets and these elements at the left hand side. And here at the right hand side, you will see this is your canvas. You will design that page and you will see that thing over here. Now we always design pages section by section. So here if you see, this is one section, this header section. Then after that, we have this services section. If you see your home page, for example, now in your home page, we have one section. This is your header section. Then we have this department list section. Then we have another section and then we have the medical staff section. So we have created several sections over here. So to create a new section, you click on this plus button and then you select how many columns you want in this section. So for example, if you want 3 columns, you select 3 and now you can add different elements in these columns. Now, whenever you select any column or any element, now as you can see at the left hand side, settings change. Now it says edit section. Again, if you want to go back to those elements, you need to click on this 9 dots icon. If you follow my mouse cursor, click on this 9 dots icon, you will come back to these elements. Now suppose if you want to add button over here, you can simply drag and drop this button element over here. So this is how the button element will look like. And now at the left hand side, it says edit button. Now for every element, you will see 3 options: content, style and advanced. Under content, obviously you'll have to change the content. Like here, it says click here. If you want to type in something else, you can type here or whatever you want. You can just type in anything you want. Then after that, you have style. Under styling, you will change the color, all those things. So for example, if I want to change the color of this thing, style, border radius, all this thing, if I want to give it some shadow like this, box shadow, you can do that thing as well. Then we have the advanced. Under advanced, you can control the positioning, margin, padding, z index, all the advanced things. Again, if you want to come back to elements, click on the 9 dots icon. Maybe for the second option, for the second column, you want to use some icon. You can drag and drop this icon element over here. And again, if you see at the left hand side, settings change. Now it says edit icon. Whenever you want to do some changes, maybe to this button, you can just click on this button. Now it says edit button. Okay. In icon also, as I said earlier, we have 3 options: content, style and advanced. So here also, as you can see, you can change the icon. Maybe I want this icon. You can now go ahead, change the color to something else. Okay. And after that, you can change the size, all these things, all the designing part can be done from here. So this is basically how it works. Now I'll cut this thing. Let me show you how you can create this design. So very first thing that we want to do is we want to add a single row and a single column, and we want this title over here, our services. Now to display this title, we'll use this heading element, drag and drop this heading, type in whatever your title is. My title is our services. Now we'll go to style. First we need to change the text color. We have the text color option. Now the text color over here is this white color, but if you change this color to white, as you can see, it will disappear because the background is also white. So we'll change the text color later on. First, let's change the typography, basically the font style. So to do that thing, you'll click on this pencil button, and by default it is Roboto. I want to add some other. I want to add Martel Sans, which is one of the best font families. So if I search for Martel Sans, as you can see, this is the one. I'll select this thing. You can see the style is changed. Now you can also change the size. If you want to decrease or increase the size, you can do it like this. I want to keep it at 40 pixels. You can also change the weight, like you can make it lighter at 100 or you can make it bolder at 900. I want to keep it at maybe 800. Then you can do some more things. You can change the line height. For line height, I'll make it 46. And you can also increase or decrease the letter space like this. If I decrease the letter space, you can also make it negative. So here, as you can see, it is -5. If I increase the letter space, this is how it will look like. I want to set this thing to -1.6. All right. So this is how it works. Then we have, let's see what we have next. We have only this thing. Now let's do one thing. Let's add this image in the background and add some spacing, because here, as you can see, above and below this text, we have a lot of spacing. So for that, we'll select this option, 6 dots icon. If you follow my mouse cursor, this blue 6 dots icon, which says edit section. Click on that. Now at the left hand side, you will see this option. Go to style. First, make sure that this section is stretched, because we have this image in the background. So whenever you have anything in the background of any row or a section, you should always stretch that section. Now go to style and let's add that image in the background. So under background style, just upload that image. So we have already uploaded this image. Click on insert media. You can control few things. For example, you can control the size, you can control the positioning, center, top center. You can select all these things. Now let's add some spacing at top and bottom. So this space at top and bottom. For that, we'll go to advanced and we'll add padding. Now, first I would recommend you to delink this thing, because if I just type in anything, if I type in, for example, 100, it will add 100 pixels padding from all sides, top, right, bottom, left, everything. So first make it 0 and delink this thing so we can add individual padding. Now I just want to add padding only at top and bottom. So for top, I want to make it 130, and for bottom, I want to make it 265 or just 260. Okay. Now, because we have this thing in the background, we can change the text color to white. So click on text, click on this heading and change this text color to white. All right. This is how it looks like. Now let's create our next section. And for this, again, we'll click on this plus button. We'll add a single row and a single column. First, we have this heading. So again, we'll use the heading element, drag and drop it over here. Type in whatever your heading is, make it center aligned. So change the alignment to center, because here we have this text in center. Now let me copy the color code from here. We want this color. All right, I have this color code. Now I can come back to this page. We can go to style and we can change this color. Now what I'll do is I'll save this color code so that we don't have to copy the color code again and again. We can just use it. So to save this color code, you can click on this plus button to create a new global color, and I can name it maybe a dark blue color or whatever you want. I'll just name it dark blue. Click on create. Now next time when you want to use it, you don't have to type in this color code. You can just click on this globe icon, this icon, and you can see we have this dark blue. You can just select this thing. Now for typography, we want to again change the font family to Martel Sans. So if I just search for Martel Sans, and again what I'll do is I'll save this thing as well so that we don't have to do this thing again and again. I'll make it default first and I'll change this thing. Click on this plus button. I'll add this thing in my global font. I'll type in Martel Sans. Now click on create. So the font family is Martel Sans. We want to increase the size to 36 or maybe decrease the size a little bit. Make it bolder at 700. And then after that, for line height, we can make it 46. It is not important. Line height is not really important. You can leave it as well to default if you want. And maybe letter spacing at 0.6, minus 0.6. Then after that, we have the listing grid. This grid that you see at bottom. Now what I'll do is I'll use another row below this thing. I'll add inner section below this thing to add this listing grid. because if you see this thing, the width of this content is very small. We have a lot of space at left and right. I'll explain you about this thing. Now when you add inner row, you'll get 2 columns, but I want only 1 column. So I can right click on this edit column at the right hand side and I can delete this second column. Now we have only 1 column. In fact, I'll do one thing. I'll bring this thing, the header that we have just created, inside this inner row. Now below this inner row, below this title in the inner row, we want to display these options. Basically, we want to display this listing grid wherein we can display all the different services that we have created. Now for this, you need to first create this single listing style. Let me show you how that is done. So you can come back to your dashboard. You will see under Jet Engine, you have this listings option. We'll be using this listings options a lot. So first we need to design this single thing, and after that we can use that thing in our archive page. Click on add new. Now under our listing source, it will be post. Under post type, it will be we are creating services, so we'll select services. Now under listing name, you can name it anything you want. I'll type in single listing grid. All right, so this is single listing grid. Okay, this is the grid style, that's why. I'll type in this thing and click on create listing term. So basically we have to create this one style, and after that we can copy the same style for some other services as well. So let's see how that is done. Click on this plus button. Let's add a single row and single column. Now first we have this image at top. Okay, this image. So for that we'll come back to elements and search for dynamic image. Okay, not the regular image. We have to search for dynamic image, which is this one. Drag and drop this dynamic image over here. Now what is the source? By default it is getting the post thumbnail. If you remember, we have set this as a thumbnail. We don't want this thing, we want icon under services. So now as you can see, it will display this icon. We want to bring it in center, because as you can see, everything is center aligned over here. So we'll select this option, alignment center. Then below this thing, we want to add the title like this. So for this also we'll search for dynamic field. You'll see this option, not here, over here. Come back to elements and search for dynamic field. This is the one. Drag and drop it at bottom. Now here as you can see, it says plastic surgery by default, because that is the service name. If you don't see plastic surgery and if you don't see this image automatically shown for you, you can fix this thing by clicking on this gear icon at the bottom left. Click on this settings gear icon. Click on listing settings. Make sure under listing source it is post. Under post type it is services, and also make sure this is clickable. Okay, make listing items clickable. Make sure it is yes. Now update this thing. Now select this option that we have just created, we have just used. So here as you can see, the source is post term and we are selecting the title field. Okay, if you see this thing, we are selecting the title field of this thing. So this is the title, plastic surgery. So this is working. We need to design this thing. So go to style. First make it center. So with the widget item center. Now change the color to this. Where is that gone? Here it is. All right, not back. So the color is this dark blue color that we have already saved. So we don't need to type in that color code. We can just click on this globe icon and select this dark blue color. Color is changed. For typography also, we don't need to select that thing. We can click on the globe icon. We can select Martel Sans. That is also changed. Now we can just change the size and all. So for this, I'll make it 18 pixels. Weight will be 600. So a little bit bolder. And rest everything looks good. If you want, you can decrease the line height for this. I'll make it 30 pixels. So by default it is EM selected. If you see something like this, just select PX from here, pixels. Okay. Then after that we have this summary at bottom. So this is basically the excerpt. So if I open this, if I just open this thing, I'll show you this excerpt. If I click on edit post. So this was the title that we have just added. We have added the icon at the right hand side. If you remember, we had added this excerpt. Now we want to display this thing. Okay. So we'll come back to this page, come back over here, again search for dynamic field and drag and drop it over here at bottom. Now under object field, you have to type in, you have to select this excerpt. Okay, this is displaying. Now go to style and we want to make it multi-line. Okay, in display type in multi-line because we want to display this thing in multiple lines. So select that option. Now we need to change this color to this light blue color. So if I right click on this just to get the color code, you can see this is the color code. Copy this thing 607795. So I'll save this color code as well because we'll need this thing in future. First I'll paste in the color code, then I'll click on this plus button. Maybe I'll type in light blue, or you can just type in the color code name. click on create. Okay, so this is changed. Again, typography will be Martel Sans. You can change the size and all. I think size and all looks good. We don't need to change this thing. Now you can click on update. Now finally, let's select this row, click on edit row, and let's add some padding from all sides. So if you see, we have a lot of space at top, left, right, and also at bottom. So let's add that padding. Come over here, go to advanced. Under padding, first delete this thing and type in 60 for top, 40 for right, 0 bottom, and 40 left. So basically 40 pixels left and right, 60 at top and 0 at bottom. Now there's one more setting. When somebody hovers over this, so when someone brings their mouse cursor on this, you can see this border shadow. Okay, this box shadow. So let's add that thing as well. So for that, you will go to this option style. You will see border and you will see this box shadow. But first select hover, because we want box shadow only when somebody hovers over this option. So select hover, then enable box shadow, and after that you can change the color for the box shadow and so on. So maybe I'll select this color. If you minimize this thing, this is how it is looking. All right, update this thing. Now once it is done, you can again come back to this page that we are creating, this archive page. First of all, make sure to refresh this page. Now over here, select and search for listing grid. This is the one. Bring it over here at bottom. Now select the listing that we just created. So here, as you can see, this is the listing. We named it single listing grid. Okay, as you can see, if you come back, you will see that thing. Let's come back to dashboard. So we named it single listing grid, as you can see. If I again come back. Okay, so here, as you can see, single listing grid. So you need to search for this. Search for single listing grid. This is the one. Select this option. Now here, as you can see, okay, we did not make this thing center align. Let's very quickly fix this thing. Click on edit with Elementor. This excerpt, we did not make it center align. Select this excerpt and let's see, go to style and make it center align. Okay, fill content alignment, make it center, update this thing. Come back to your archive page, update it, and after that it will automatically work if you just refresh it. And now, as you can see, even this is center. Now select this listing grid and make sure we have selected 3 columns. Okay, so under column name we have 3, column number we have 3, because we have 3 columns over here like this. Now rest everything is good. Just make sure to do one thing. We need to have this style. So we need to bring this thing at top. Also we need to add some spacing at top, at bottom, and we need to change the background color to white so that we can have a style like this. So let me show you how that is done. First of all, let's change the background color of this page to gray color. So if you click on this thing, gear icon, go to style. Here, as you can see, background type, change this background color to F5, F5, F5. Okay, so this is the page background color, F5, gray color, very light gray color. Now select this inner row that we created. You'll see this option, edit inner row, 6 dots icon, and change the background color of this inner row to white. So go to style and background type, change this color to white, FFF. Okay, you can see the changes over here. Background color is white. Now let's add some spacing at top and bottom. So go to advanced, add some padding at top and bottom. In fact, we can add padding from all sides, because here from left and right also we have added some space, if you see. So we can type in 80 at top maybe. Then after that we can type in 100 from right, 90 bottom, and 100 from left. So basically 100 left and right, and 80 or 90 from top and bottom. Okay. Now once you do this thing, we have to do one more thing. We have to bring this entire section at top. Okay, like this. Okay, so for that we can use margin. We can in fact use negative margin. So select margin and under top margin type in 150. It will bring it down. So to fix this thing, before 150 type in minus. Now it will bring it up. So it is deleting 150 margin from top and it is bringing this thing up. Now we can update this thing. Okay, so this is how it is looking. And whenever you create any page using Elementor, you should always see how that page is looking on a mobile phone, just to make sure your page and your website is 100% mobile friendly. So to see this thing, you will click on this responsive mode icon at bottom left. Click on that, select mobile phone. Now this is how it is looking. Because we have used a lot of padding, it is looking very bad. So let's fix this thing. Now first of all, I want this heading in center for mobile phones. So I'll select this thing, go to style, and not style over here, in content, in alignment, as you can see, and also make sure your phone icon is selected so that these changes take place only for mobile phone. Now alignment, I'll select center, Now select the title. Before title, let's select this inner row. This is your inner row, as you can see, inner section. Click on this and let's get rid of all the padding. Inner row, or maybe this is the inner row. Yeah, this is the inner row. So once you select the inner row, here as you can see it says edit inner section. You will see padding over here. Make it 0. We don't want any padding. Now this is fixed. Now select this listing thing, and under column number for mobile phone we want only one column per row. Okay, now it is also fixed. So for mobile phone it is okay, not this. For mobile phone it is 1, and for desktop it will be 3. So update this page. Again, if you come back to your desktop mode, click on responsive mode. It is still good. Here we have still 3 columns, but if you go back to mobile phone, here we have 1 column per row. So we have fixed this thing. Now it is 100% mobile friendly. Come back to desktop, and with this we have created our archive page. You can come back to your dashboard, click on this thing, exit to dashboard. Now come back to your main dashboard. If you want to see this page, if you open this all services page in a new tab, this is how, as you can see, your page is looking. If you click on this plastic surgery, still as you can see it is looking very bad. So we have designed the archive page. Now let's design this single services page. All right, this page. Right, so now if you see over here the departments archive page, basically the services archive page, and also the single service page looks very similar. Let me open a single service page. Now here also, if you see at top we have a title, then in the background we have this image, and then we have this design, this thing comes at top and all these things. Okay, here also in the archive page also it is very similar. We have a title, in the background we have this thing, then we have this negative margin, so this section comes at top. So what we can do is we can copy the design that we have just created, the services archive page, and we can use this on a single service page, and after that we can create other things that are required. So let me open this plastic surgery and let's see the design. Let's create a similar design. So again, come back to pages, select this option, all services, click on edit with Elementor. Let's just copy the design, save this design. Now to save this design, you can click on this icon, save option at the bottom left. Click on save as template and you can name it anything. I'll name it services archive. After that, click on save. Now once it is saved, we can now come back to this pages option, exit to dashboard. Now to create a single service page or a single doctor page, we are not going to use this regular pages option. Okay, we are going to use the theme builder, and that theme builder is under CrocoBlock. So under CrocoBlock, you will see theme builder. Click on that. Now you have to select this option single, because we are creating a page for single service or a single doctor page. So select single, click on add new. Make sure under type it is single. You can name it anything. I will name it maybe single service design. So it is single service page design. Click on create template. Now let's import the design, archive page design. So you can click on this button, add template, go to my templates. Here you will see the archive page design that we have just saved. Now click on insert and this will be inserted over here. Now at top we just had a regular title, regular text which says our services. Now instead of that we want a dynamic thing. So if somebody is saying the plastic surgery, the title will say plastic surgery. If somebody is saying some other department, it will say the title of that department. Also, instead of this regular image in the background, it should display the featured image. So if you open this post in a new tab, you can see at the right hand side we have this featured image, and this image will be shown over here in the background at top. Okay, so we have to make this image also dynamic. So to do this thing, let's first add dynamic field just below this our services thing. Now what you want to display over here, now by default, it is saying hello world. So what we need to do is we need to change the preview settings. Click on this gear icon, select conditions, and under general select singular, and what singular post type you want to select. So we want to select post type, and now we have to select the post type of services. So we are creating a design for singular post type of services. Now publish this thing. Still it says hello world. So once you refresh this thing, it should be fixed. Right now, once you refresh it, now we can do one thing. You can again select this gear icon, and under preview, just select this services option so that the services are also previewed, and you can select the plastic surgery that we created. All right, click on update. Again, just refresh this page. And now as you can see, instead of hello world, now it says plastic surgery, or whatever the title is, whatever the title of that post is. Now let's design this thing. So we have to design it like this. Very similar design. So go to style, first change the color to white, and after that we'll change the typography to Martin Sands, and you can change some style. You can increase or decrease the size. We'll make it 36, 700 weight, and minus 0.6. All right. Now once you have this design, you can now delete this top text. Now we have this text. Now for the background as well, select this edit section. Right now we just have a regular image. We want to make this thing dynamic, so we can delete this image and click on this dynamic tags. If you follow my mouse cursor, click on this dynamic tags, select custom image. Now click on custom image and select this field, select post thumbnail. Okay, now it will display the post thumbnail, basically the featured image of this post. All right, now you can click on update again. So we have completed the top section. Now let's come over here. So the design and everything is good. I don't want this text title, and I also don't want this thing. Okay, this post grid. Now instead of that, we want to display first of all this consultation text. So we'll come over here. If you don't remember what your text and all was, you can go back to edit services. You can edit services and you can read and you can see all the names of these texts. So first we want to display this consultation text. So you'll come over here again, search for dynamic field, drag and drop it over here. And here it is displaying plastic surgery. We don't want plastic surgery. We want that consultation text. So you can select source metadata and you can select that data. So under services, you should see that thing. Here it is. As you can see, consultation, select that. And now as you can see, it says plastic surgery consultation. You can see that thing over here. So this is displaying the dynamic data. Now let's design this thing as well. So the color is this dark blue color. It is Martin Sands, and you can increase the size to maybe 35, 36. Make it a little bit bolder if you want. Now we also want to do one thing. We want to display two things in one single row. So we have to decrease the width of this thing. So to do this thing, we have to go to advanced, change the positioning. You'll see this positioning option, select that. Under width, select custom, and under custom width, select percentage and make it 40%. Now this is 40%. After that, this text, this will become 60%. And this will be our description one. So if you see, this will, this text, this description one text, we will show that text over here. So again, search for dynamic field, drag and drop it over here. Now again, select metadata, and after that, select a description one. All right. Now go to style, go to advanced, under positioning, make it custom, and this time select percentage, 60%. Now this is how it is looking. Again, you can go ahead and design this thing. You can change the color to light blue. You can change the font family to Martin Sands and increase or decrease the size. Then we have this thing, we have the gallery. So to display that gallery, again, we'll search for custom field, or basically dynamic field, drag and drop it over here. And again, select metadata, and instead of this thing, we want to display, let's see, we want to display this gallery. Now once you select gallery, it will just display the some number like this. What we want to do is we want to filter the output. We don't want to output the number. We want to output the exact media file. So we'll select this option, filter media output, make it yes. Under callback, you will see at the bottom. Okay, I think you cannot see this. Let me decrease the size. Okay, at the bottom you will see, here it is. At the bottom you will see images gallery grid. Select that option. Now for some reason, if you don't see this thing, let me first again come back to 100%. Now change the column to 2. We want only 2 columns. Update it. Now for some reason, if you don't see this images gallery grid at the bottom, you can go back to your dashboard. Now under Jet Engine, click on Jet Engine, and over here make sure this thing is enabled, grid gallery for dynamic field widget. So once it is enabled, you will see that option. Okay, images gallery grid. Now at the bottom, we want to display our description 2, which is this thing. We want to display this thing at the bottom. So for this, again, we'll come back to this option, and you can use again that dynamic field, but in dynamic field, we cannot make it 2 columns. Let me show you. So if I again drag and drop the dynamic field, again, we'll select metadata and we can select description 2. So this is good, but we cannot make it 2 columns. I want to display the same text in 2 columns, like here, as you can see, 2 columns. So what we can do is delete this dynamic field. Instead of this, you can use the regular text editor, drag and drop this text editor at bottom. Now, instead of this text, we can again display dynamic text. So I want to display that description 2 text over here. So we can click on this dynamic tags and we can select custom field, and under field, you can select description 2. Okay. it will display this description. And now you can change this thing column. You can see columns, make it 2 columns. Now as you can see, this text is now displayed in 2 columns. You can go to style, you can change the color to light blue, you can make it Martel Sans, you can increase or decrease the size, whatever you want to do it. You can now go ahead and do that. Now let's update this page. And finally, if you see again, let's do one. Okay, we cannot do that. We'll see that later on. Now let's do one thing. Let's add this thing at the bottom, this form. So for that, we'll do one thing. We'll add a new row. And inside that again, we'll add another inner row. So select this inner row. And again, in this inner row, we just want one single column. So we can delete this second column. Now for the main row, select that and change the width to 1170, basically 1170 pixels, 1170. Now select the inner row and make it 560 width. Okay, because if you see the width, content width is very small, we have a lot of space at left and right, so that is why 560. Okay, now let's first add this header. So click on this thing, use this heading, drag and drop it, make an appointment, make it center align, change the text color to dark blue, change the font family to Martel Sans. Now you can go ahead, increase or decrease the size, make it bolder and all. So all these options are available. I'll make it 700 maybe. Then after that, we have this text. I'll copy the text. This is just regular text, not dynamic text. So we are just pasting in this text. Now make it center, change it to light blue and Martel Sans. You can change the size and all. Now below this thing, we need to display this form, and now we need to style this form. So first you have to search for form element, which is this. Drag and drop this form element at bottom. Now by default you will, okay, first of all we'll have to select the form. Now this is the single service, so we have to select that single service form. Search for that. Here as you can see, single service booking form, select this. Now this is how it will look by default. Very bad design. So we have to do a lot of designing over here to make it something amazing like this one. So let's do that. So first of all, instead of submit type reload, we don't want this thing to reload. We want to make it Ajax. Okay. Now go to style. Let's do the styling. Let's start with this thing. The heading. Okay. Choose a doctor and choose date and time. Let's start with that. So select heading. Now under heading, change the color to, okay, where it is? Here it is. Change the color to that dark blue color. Now make the typography Martel Sans. Now change this size to maybe 24. A little bit bolder. So 700. Now let's add some space. Okay. So we can do one thing. We can use this space. And what we want to do is first of all, make sure it is delinked. Now from top, I want to add 30. Right inside, we don't want any gaps. So we can make it 0. Bottom, you can add a little bit gap. So maybe 10. So below this thing. And at left, make sure it is 50. Everything will be 50 so that everything is properly aligned. So make sure first of all, this is 50. Now let's select this field that you see. Let's design this thing. So select this field. Again, for this also typography will be Martel Sans. You can change the color and all. Color, let's see. Okay, we have this light blue color. Let's select this thing. Now placeholder color also you can change if you want some other color. Now let's set the padding. So for this, padding will be 14 from top, 10 at right, 13 at bottom and 20 from left. Now margin. Now margin will be 50 from left first of all, so that everything is aligned properly. Now we also want to add 50 at right, and from top and bottom you can add maybe just 5. Okay. Now border radius you can increase or decrease. If you make it 50, for example, this will become circular like this, as you can see. If you want to make those corners sharper, you can make it 0. So I want to keep this border radius at 0. Now finally, let's select this option at the bottom. We want to select this calendar. So you will see appointment calendar, select that option. And the width of this calendar, I want this to be 460 pixels. Okay, a little bit wider. Padding will be 10 from top and bottom and 20 from left and right, like this. Now it's time for margin. Margin will be 5 from top and bottom and 50 from left and right. Now under calendar, we have a lot of things. For example, the very first thing is this header. So you see this thing, September 2021, whatever that is your header. So for that, whatever color you want, we want this dark blue color. I think that is, okay, not the background color. Let's make it default. Okay, we don't actually have that dark blue color. We have this light blue color. So header text color, under this, select that light blue color. And under typography, obviously it is Martel Sans, and we can increase the size of this thing to 20 pixels. make it a little bit bolder at 600. Then we have weekdays and names. So this Monday, Tuesday, these things. So for this also it will be Martel Sans. I want to do one more thing. I want to make everything uppercase. If you see over here, everything is uppercase. So we can change the transformation to uppercase. Change the size to 12, make it a little bit bolder, and let's add some line height so that we have some space at top and bottom of each of these numbers. So under line height, first select pixels, px, and type in 16. Now as you can see at top and bottom we have some space. Then after that we can also change the color. Let's see the color. Okay, the color is this blue color, dark blue color. Select this and let's add a gap of 15 pixels. Now it's time for these numbers, weekdays, or basically the dates. For this also the typography will be Martel Sans. If you want, you can obviously have some other typography. Size will be 16 and let's make it 600. And let's add some line height of 24, very important. Now let's also add some gap between these options. So under vertical gap, type in 20. Now as you can see, we have nice amount of gap between these options. Then after that we have the slots. So if somebody clicks on first if somebody selects any doctor, and after that if they select any date, then we see the slots. And this is how the slots are looking right now. So let's fix this thing as well. First let's dealing the padding. For top and bottom I want to make 30. For top and bottom will be 10. Left and right just leave it as it is 0. Typography, you can change this thing to Martel Sans, and let's see the color. Okay, let's select some. Let's see the color for this. Because the color is this thing. Right now let's add some padding. So from padding, top will be 6, right 10, bottom 4, and left 10. Also let's add margin of 5 pixels from all sides. We also want to add this border, as you can see. So let's add border type will be solid, 1 pixels. All right, you can change the color if you want. Now let's select this button, next button. So you will see next page button, select this. All right, background color is this dark blue color, like this. Then after that we have the text color. Text color is white, so we don't need to do anything. Change the font family to Martel Sans. Also increase the size of this thing. Let's make it 16 pixels. Weight, let's select maybe 600 or 700. And line height of 24. Now it's time for padding, which is very important. If you first make it 0. Now padding from top and bottom will be 18, and from left and right it will be 50. And we don't want any border radius, so make it 0 so that we have sharp edges. And let's add margin left 50 just to bring this button in this thing. And let's also add some margin at top, maybe 20 pixels. All right. And we have one more thing. We have this shadow in this calendar, so we did not add that. Here it is, appointment calendar. Make sure to add that shadow. Here it is, box shadow. All right. Change the color if you want. All right. Update this page. Let's see how it is looking till now. All right. So this is how it is looking. As you can see, much better. Now we have a few more things. If you click on this thing, for example, if somebody selects this thing, then they click on next. Then this is the style. Let's see how this is looking right now. For this, I'll have to go to my home page actually. Let's go to all services page. And if I select a single service, plastic surgery. All right. So as you can see, everything is working. We have the title, consultation text, everything is working properly. We also have this form. So we have designed it till here. If I select a doctor, then we select some date. Then some timing, some slot. Okay, I'm seeing one thing, that when we select some slot, this style should change like we have over here. Okay, as you can see, when I select this slot, the color changes to this orange color so that we know that this is selected. But here when I selected anything, it does not happen. So you can come back and you can go to slots, which is over here, and under active, you can change the color to maybe this orange color. Let's see this color. Copy the color code, or maybe just save it. Orange. And also you can change. Rest everything looks good. Maybe over here as well, under border color, we can change this thing to this orange color. Now click on update. Now let me try it again. Refresh this page. Select some doctor very quickly. A date. Okay, it should be under active. We selected. Okay, so under active, I think we have to get back to normal. Let me actually, yeah. Okay, we don't have to change this color, border color, only this color at top. Okay, under active. So let me again refresh it. So let me again refresh it and see it again. Select any date. All right, normal. When I select, now as you can see, it is working. When I select that active, now when you go to next, you can see this is not properly designed. It should be like this. So we have to design this thing, and after that we have to design this these fields, and then we also have to design this calculated thing, which is this, and at the bottom this button. So let's very quickly do that. Now we have already designed the heading, so heading is looking good, fields are also looking good, only these two things are looking bad, the calculation and this button. So first let's select this calculated fields. Now change the typography obviously to Martel Sans. Change the size as well. We can increase the size a little bit, maybe 20 pixels. Make it a little bit bolder at 200 and line height of 20. You can also add some margin so that we bring this thing and we align this thing properly. So we have to add that 50 margin from left. Alright, so under margin left we will type in 50, and we can also add some margin at top and bottom. So above and below this calculated text we have some space. So for margin top and bottom we can add maybe 20 or 10 pixels, and color of this text will be this blue color, as you can see, dark blue color. So change this color to dark blue. Now select this thing. Then after finally we have this submit button. So select this button. Background color will be this dark blue color. Text color is fine. It is Martel Sans. Increase the size of this thing to 18. Now let's change the padding. So padding will be 18 and 50. So basically 18 from top and bottom and 50 from left and right. And margin again left 50 so that it brings it like this. And okay, I just noticed that the color is actually this orange color and the hover color is this color. So the color will be this orange color, and when you hover over that button it will become that dark blue color. Right, now I think it looks good. Border radius, let's make it 0. Update. Let's try it again. Come back, refresh this page. Now again let's select some doctor. Okay, select a date. Click on next. Okay, now as you can see this is working. Right, now somebody can enter their thing and they can book an appointment. Now just few final things are left. Let's add some spacing at top and bottom. So select this inner option, inner row, or maybe let's add that under main row. Yeah, let's select this main row and let's add some spacing at top and bottom. So basically some padding at top and bottom, maybe 90 pixels both from top and bottom. And as I said earlier, whenever you create any page, you should always see how it looks on mobile phone. So let's see responsive mode, mobile. All right. So this is how it is looking. We need to fix this thing. Title is good, but I want to bring this thing in center for mobile phone. Again, make sure this mobile icon is selected. Now select this consultation and go to advanced. For positioning for mobile phone, we don't want to make it 40/60. So select this thing, go to positioning, and for mobile phone, make it full width. All right. Select this second text, go to advanced positioning. Okay, here it is. Select this, and for this also full width for mobile phone. Now for gallery and all, if you want to change this thing, for example, for description 2, let's see, we don't want 2 columns, we just want one single column. All right, and for this also gallery also, I think you can make it 1 column. So in mobile phone, this is how it will look. If you scroll down, now select this option, this form, go to style. First of all, select field. Okay, first let's start with heading. Select heading. Everything will be good. Just fix the gap. Now under gap, type in 0. We don't want any gap. Now select the fields. Again, under margin, type in 0, fixed. Now select the calendar, which is over here, appointment calendar. We had set this thing 460 pixels for desktop. Now for mobile phone, I want to set this thing to percentage and make it 100%. Okay, and no margin, so 0 margin. Now as you can see, it looks much better. And button, You can select submit button and next page button, and you can again remove the margin. All right. And now as you can see, it is looking so much better on your mobile phone. If you want to add some custom padding and margin, obviously you can go ahead and do that. One more thing, I don't think we need this much space at top and bottom for mobile phones. So you can go ahead and maybe, 75 at top and 100 at bottom. Not 100, maybe 125 or maybe 150 at bottom. All right. So this is how it is looking. Maybe 50 at top and 170 at bottom. So you can see this thing, you can control it yourself. You can now design this thing, update it, again come back to your desktop. And with this we have completed this thing as well. Now we can come back to our dashboard. Now let's try to create another service and let's see. So this is working for plastic surgery, and let's see whether it is working for some other service or not. So click on add new service. Let me go back to my demo website, go to departments. Let me create a new service maybe for neurology. So I'll copy the title, paste it over here. Then this is your description 1. Let me copy everything. Paste it under description 1. Copy your description 2. Paste it under description 2. Then we have the consultation text. Okay. Media files, gallery basically your. So select these 2 images, click on choose file. Price per slot maybe 15. Featured image. Let me select this featured image this time. Let's see. For plastic surgery we had this featured image. So I'll select this one this time. Okay, some other featured image just to see whether this is working or not. Now let's see, this is your excerpt. Related doctor, we can select a doctor for this. We had created one doctor, I think Alan. What was the doctor name? Let's see. Okay, Anna. So we can search for that. Okay, here it is. And it is created. Now we can publish it. Now let's see. Let's go to our services page, all services page. Let's see whether this is displaying or not. Okay, so as you can see, this is displaying, but I think, okay, I uploaded this thing, not this one. We have to select this icon, this image. And under gallery, we have to select those 2 images. Let's update it again. Let's try it. Come back over here, refresh it. Now fixed. Now let's see, if we click on neurology, we are redirected to plastic surgery or neurology. So if I click on this, now as you can see in the URL bar, we are redirected to this. Now the title is automatically changed, consultation text, all these things are automatically changed for you. Okay, so this is working. Now let's see till now what we have done. Let's see the progress. So we have created, first we started with the custom post type. We created 2 different custom post types, one for department and basically one for service and one for doctor. Then we added all the meta fields. Then after that we created the forms, and after that now we have designed these 2 things for departments, for services. So we have designed this services archive page and also this single services page. Now similarly we have to design doctors archive page, wherein we can list all the different doctors, and single doctor page. Now I don't want to show you the same process again and again because we have already seen this thing in complete detail for services. So I don't want to do the same thing for doctors. So now what we'll do is, just to save you some time, I'll give you all the files. You can just import them, and after that I'll show you how you can fix them. So do one thing, come back to your dashboard, come back to your main dashboard. Right, so now first let's see the archive page for doctors. This is how it is looking. As you can see, very similar design. Now if you remember, in the departments or in the services archive page, first what we did is we designed this single thing, single service grid. Similarly, we have to design this single thing, okay, this single doctor listing. But as I said earlier, you don't have to do that. I'll just give you a file, you'll have to import it, and I'll explain you how things work. So first let's import this file. So come back to dashboard. Now that thing was under listings, if you remember, under jet engine listings. Okay, this was the one, single listing grid. If you want to confirm this thing, you can edit this with Elementor to see that this was the one. Alright, so as you can see, this is the one. Okay, for this one. Now we have to similarly create for this one. So you can simply import it. You can click on add new. First of all, you should see this is the post type. Post type should be doctors this time, not services. And this will be single doctor grid design maybe. All right. Now click on create listing. Now we don't have to do it from scratch again. We'll just import the file. So click on this add template, go to my templates, and you need to import the file. So click on import, select file, and that you will see under this folder, listing templates. And this is the one, and you have to select this one, single doctor list. Okay. I should name it single doctor grid. All right. So this one, single doctor grid, select this, click on open. Now once it is imported, this is the one, you can insert this file, click on yes. Alright, so as you can see, this is how it will display. Select the second one, and under meta field, we want to display the consultation. So under doctor, okay, I think not consultation, I think specialty, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, this is the one. And if you don't see anything like this, again, you can go to this gear icon under listing settings, make sure post type is doctors. And yeah, just make sure this post type is doctors, and after that you can update this thing. So very simple. We have used a dynamic image and we are displaying the post thumbnail. Then we have used a dynamic link and we are displaying the title and also the link. So very simple thing. We have already seen these things, multiple times. And finally we are displaying metadata. So under again dynamic field metadata, and we are displaying this specialty metadata. So simple thing. Now once you do this thing, you can now come back to your dashboard. Now we can import the archive page for doctors, so we can use that pages, regular pages thing. We have used the regular pages to create all services, so let's create all doctors. So again, give it a title of all doctors. Now template will be full width layout, and we don't want breadcrumbs, so disable that and publish this page. Now again, edit with Elementor, and we have to import that file, archive page file. So click on add template, go to my templates, import that file. Let's try it again. Select file. It will be under, let's see, pages. Yeah, doctors archive. Select this, click on open. Now let's insert this thing, doctor archive page, insert that thing. Now here it says all providers. Instead of all providers, if you type in all doctors, you can do that. Now by default it is not displaying. If you click on this thing at bottom, we have to select the listing. So the listing that we just created was, single doctor grid layout. Here as you can see, single doctor grid design that we just created. Select that, and now it will display this thing. Now we can update this thing. Again, come back to your dashboard. Now let's see the design for single doctor. So if we go to all doctors, it is just a regular page. So this is working, but if somebody clicks on single doctor, the design is not present. So let's design the single doctor page. So again, come back to your dashboard. And if you remember, for single pages, we have to use theme builder. So under CrocodBlock, use theme builder, go to single. Earlier we had created single service design. Now we have to create single doctor design. So give it any title and click on create template. And again, let's just import that file. So click on add template, go to my templates and import that file. This is also under pages, single doctor page. Okay, so single doc page, open it. Now let's insert it. So click on insert single doctor page, make it yes. Now here you have it. Now if you see some options like this, if they don't display properly, just click on them and make sure you select the right thing. So click on this thing, custom field is selected, click on custom field and select your own field. So we have to select this specialty field, then select this expertise field. Now as you can see, that data is displaying. Select this expertise, again custom field, and under this we have to select expertise that we created. Now length of work, custom field, and here you have length of work, select that. Email, so select this email. Under meta field, just select that email under doctors. Then on phone, select this meta field and it will be phone under doctors. Now certificates, click on this. Under meta field, select certificates under doctors. It is also displaying. Now for specification, first the rest everything is working. Select this form first. This was single doctor form that we created. So select this single doctor booking form. Now we have to design this part. If you don't want to design it, you can just add that 50 pixels thing. Okay, this is checkbox. So select checkbox and margin left. If you type in 50, this is how it will look like. If you want, you can do some changes. You can increase the size, you can change the typography to Martel Sans, you can change the color to maybe dark blue, increase the width, increase the size, all those things. Maybe let me increase the size a little bit. All right, you can do it like this. Click on update. Now this repeater was left, so if you select this repeater, now here as you can see, for repeater also we have to import some listing. So again, come back to your listing, under Jet Engine, click on listings and import another file under post. This will be doctors because we are creating single doctor page. And this is what, let's see. So this is all specialization. So I'll give it a title of specialization list. Now click on create listing term, and again, you don't need to create it, you just need to import it. Now once you do this thing, click on add template, my templates, and import that template that is given to you. Let's see. This will obviously be under listings. So listing template. Here it is, specialization, open it. And here it is, import this one. Yes. Now if you don't see this thing, you need to do a few things. First of all, click on this gear icon under listings. We did not have this underscore before specialization. You can check this thing if you want. You can go to your dashboard and under doctors, if you click on add new doctor, here as you can see, it is just specialization, no underscore before that. So let's remove this underscore before it from here. All right. So this is the first thing you have to do. Now, if you click on this option, you have to select the source. So we have to select metadata, not metadata. We want repeater because this was a repeater field, but I don't see repeater option for some reason. Let's actually update this page. Try to refresh it again. Click on this option. And now as you can see, we have this repeater field. Click on that. And now under custom meta field, instead of specialization, we have to add this thing. As you can see, because we want to display this list, the name of this list is qualification. So add this qualification over here. And now as you can see, it is displaying. Now we can update this thing. So this is fixed. Now we can come back over here, refresh this single doctor page. Just this thing was left. Again, scroll down and this time you will see that specialization, search for that. Here it is, as you can see, specialization list, select that. And here you have it. Now I can update this page and we have now successfully created this thing as well. Right, so with this is also completed. Again, come back to dashboard and finally, let's create our home page. So click on pages, add new, give it a title of home and make the template full width content layout and disable breadcrumb. At the bottom, publish this page. Now let's set this page as our home page. So come back to your dashboard. All right. This is just a regular page. Right now, if you open this in a new tab, it is, as you can see, your website name /home. If I click on Jet Booking, I'm redirected to some other page. So this page that we have just created is just a regular page. We have to set this page as your home page. And for that, you need to hover over settings, click on reading. And over here, you will see your home page displays. We have to select a static page and we have to select the page that we want to display as our home page. Now again, if you come back to this page and refresh it, that /home will be gone. And now as you can see, if I click on Jet Booking, I'm still on the same page. So this is set as your home page. If I go back to pages, you can see now besides home, it says front page. Now we can edit this home page. And again, we don't need to design it from scratch. I'll just give you the file. You can import it. So click on edit with Elementor. Let's see how we can import this entire page over here. Come back, click on add template, go to my templates, click on import. It does not work sometimes. So let's try it again. Now go to pages folder and select home page Jet Booking. Click on open. Now let's insert this page. And here you have it, your home page. Let it load. Now departments is not showing. If you click on this thing, we have to again insert or we have to import a list to show this department type. Let's see some other thing. Medicals, for this doctor, we have created this design. So we can use this design. If you remember, we have created that listing, search for that. It was this single doctor grid design. So we can use that design over here. And if you want, instead of this list, instead of this department list, if you want to use that that department grid, services grid list, you can use that thing as well. For example, if I click on, let's come back. If I click on this thing, edit section, and you can search for that services grid that we have created. I don't remember the title. Yeah, single doctor grid design that we created for services page. Okay, not doctor, single service it was. I think it was this single listing grid. Yeah, so if you want to design, if you want to display this thing under departments, you can do that. Or if you want to have a style like this, then let me show you how you can do that. Let me get rid of this, update this page. Again, you have to, import some thing from here under listing. Click on add new. This will be under services. Let's give it a title of departments list. All right, now click on create listing term and import that thing. So go to my template, import it. It will be under listing. Here you have it, departments listing, open it. Now insert this thing, click on yes. All right, so as you can see, this is how it is looking. Just make sure under gear icon, post type is services. Yeah. If you click on rest, everything is good. Just update it. Now again, what is the title? Department list. If you search for department list, here as you can see, we have this thing. This is how it is working. Now we can update this page. And with this, you have also created your home page. And we have already seen if you want to change some title, some subtitle, all these things can be changed from here. If you want to change this thing now, for example, if your address, you can just click on this thing instead of this address. If you want to type in something else, just type it like this. Same for phone number, just change the text. Now at the right hand side, we have this map. You can delete this map, right click on that and delete, and you can use the Google map over here. Drag and drop this Google Maps at the right hand side and enter your address. For example, if I just enter Mumbai, you can enter your exact address. I want to zoom in a little bit. Let's see. Yeah. So you can zoom in, zoom out, you can change the size and all. If you want to bring this thing in middle, you can do one thing, click on this thing, edit section and go to vertical align, make it middle. Okay, now as you can see, it is looking like this. Update this page. So this is how this home page is created. Now finally again come back to your dashboard. Now we've created everything except for two things, our header and footer. So if you come back to your website, okay, we did not stretch this section, I guess. Let me again click on edit with Elementor for the home page. Whenever you use anything in the background, always make sure to stretch that section. Okay, like this. Click on edit section and stretch it. Here also we have used this image. So edit section, stretch this section, update the page. And page layout will be full width, content template. Update this page and again come back to our dashboard. Let's try it again, refresh it. All right, now it is looking much better. Now only your header and footer is left. So as you can see, your header is looking bad. So we need to fix that thing. And at the bottom, we don't have any footer. So we need to add an header and footer like this one. Now again, for this also, you don't need to do that. I've just given you the file. You can use it on your website. So for that, again, come back. Now for header and footer also, we have to use this option, CrocoBlock Theme Builder. So as you can see, for header, for footer, for single page, for this thing, we have to use this theme builder. Now go to header, import this header, click on add new header, give it any title. I'll just name it header. Click on create template. Now import this template, go to my templates, import the header template. You will see that under this folder, header and footer. So select header, click on open. Now let's insert it. So click on insert, yes. All right, so this is how it is looking. Okay, we had to create a menu so that we can display that over here. So let me actually come back to our dashboard. Let's first very quickly create that menu. Now to create a new menu, you can hover over appearance, click on menus. Let's give this menu some name. I'll name it main menu. Click on create menu. Now whatever link you want to display. So I want to display all doctors, all services page. Then maybe my account page. Now in the My Account page, your customers and patients can go to this page, My Account, and they can see all the services they have booked, all the appointments they have booked. They can see all the details related to that. If you want to display few single services as well, you can click on this screen option and tick mark doctors and services. And if you want to display any single doctor or single service, you can tick mark that thing, maybe service also. Right. So you can add these things in your menu. Make sure to always tick mark this thing main at bottom and click on save menu. Now come back to this thing, click on menu, select your main menu from here. If you don't see it, first publish it. We'll need to refresh this page. Right now, as you can see, your menu is automatically displaying. Now if you want to change this logo, Med Center, instead of this, if you want to upload your own logo, delete these images and just upload your own logo images. If you want to change the time, click on this thing. Instead of this time, just type in whatever your time is. Instead of this address, just click on that address, and as you can see, it is very easy. Now we don't want this button, so I'll right click and delete the button. And for text, click on this text, and whatever you want to type, instead of this, type in that thing and go to advanced. I've changed the positioning for this. In fact, not the positioning, dynamic visibility for this. So you can do one thing, just make sure dynamic visibility is off for this text, call for an appointment, and also for this text, your phone number. Instead of this phone number, type in your own phone number, go to advanced, and also for this dynamic visibility, make sure it is no. Update this page. Again, come back to this thing, come back to your dashboard, and now let's create a footer. So come back again. Now click on footer and add new. Name it footer or whatever you want. Click on create template. Now similarly, just go ahead and upload or just import your footer. So click on this folder, my templates, and let's try it again. Import that file, footer jet booking, open it. Once it is imported, you can just go ahead and insert this footer file over here. Now under departments, click on this and select that departments menu, department list, and 3 columns we want to display. So you can select display those departments over here. Now these are just links that I've created, about page. For you can change the link if you create some other page. Maybe for example, if you want to display my account page over here, change the text to my account, and under link, if you just search for my account, you will get your my account link here. As you can see, select that thing. Similarly for this thing, just click on this image and delete it, upload your own logo. At the bottom we have the copyright text, click on that. Instead of 2020, I'll type in 2021 made by Nayesh Sheikh, or whatever you want. You can type in that thing. Then at the right hand side, you have this social icons, click on that. And instead of this, enter your own YouTube link, Facebook link, Instagram link, or if you want to add Facebook link, click on add file and you can add those links as well. Okay. Now let's come back to our website. Let's see whether this footer is working or not. Okay, so as you can see, this footer is also working. Now at the end, we need to do one thing. Let me show you that thing. If I click on all doctors, that's good. If I click on plastic surgery, single service. Okay, so on some pages, as you can see, we have this breadcrumb at top. I don't want to display that. If you open a single doctor, I think over there also we have, as you can see, we don't want this thing. If I open the my account page, I'll explain you about the my account page as well. We have these things. So let's fix this thing. So to fix this thing, you need to click on customize. Now under customize, we have many options. We have to select, let's select general site setting. And under general site settings, we have breadcrumb. Disable that thing. Just untick that thing. That will be disabled. And now as you can see, that is gone. Publish it. I want to do one more thing. We can come back and we can change the background color. So click on colors. And here you have the background color. Instead of white, I want to make it F5, 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 this gray color. Okay. If you don't want to do that, obviously you can just leave it and cut this thing. Now finally, let me show you a demo appointment booking, how a person can come to your website, they can book an appointment. So let's see, let's select a single service. So let's select plastic surgery, for example. If somebody wants to book this service, they can go select this form, they can select a doctor, then they can select some date, select the slot, click on next, enter their name. So I'll enter John Doe, for example. Enter some email, phone number, then they can see the price and all. They can click on book an appointment, make an appointment, and they will be redirected to the checkout page because we have enabled WooCommerce. We want to accept online payments. Now here this person will enter their details very quickly, address and all, city name, pin code, phone number. Okay, some phone number, and now they can see the date that they have selected, the service they have selected, time and everything they can see over here. If they want to make payment through credit debit card, they can select this. If they want to make payment through PayPal, through Razorpay, UPI payment gateway, or if they want to pay on cash, on basically cash, they can select that payment option and they can click on place order. Once they click on place order, they will see the order details Okay, so basically this is the order details, and they can see the appointment service, appointment date, and so on. And if they go to my account page, they click on orders, they can see those details as well over here. If they click on view, as you can see, when this appointment was booked, for what service, for what date. And how you will see, let me show you that thing. If you come back to your dashboard, you will see that thing under orders, or maybe not on under orders. Let's not go to orders first, let's go to appointments. So if you see appointments option, you can see that you have a new appointment. Now you can see the status is pending because the payment is not made. You can see that thing, you can see all the details. If you click on this eye icon, you can see status is pending, the service was plastic surgery, doctor's name, date, what slot is selected, user ID. Now another person cannot select this same slot because this person has selected, or if you have increased the number of people that can select the same slot, then that is different case. Now you can also see the related order, so related WooCommerce order. So you can click on this thing to see more details about this thing. So here you can see that this person has selected payment to be made on delivery, or payment to be made on arrival, basically. So this person has not made the payment. Now if this person had made the payment using Razorpay, using credit debit card or PayPal or anything, it would say that this payment was made, and you would see all the payment details like the transaction number, payment method used, all those details. Now you can finally go ahead and change the status to completed and click on update. Now again, if you come back to appointments, refresh it. Now the status will still be pending because that is not related to payment. Here we have already seen option related to payment. This is because this is a future date and time. So when this thing completes, when this future date and time completes, then this status will be completed. If you want, you can see the timeline, or at what date, at what time this thing was selected. You can see the calendar view. Okay, here as you can see on 16th, some appointment is booked. So this is how this entire process works. And with this, we complete this tutorial. I hope you guys find this tutorial helpful. I hope you have learned something new from this tutorial. Now if you find this video helpful, make sure to subscribe and click on the bell icon so that you don't miss any future notifications. If you like this video, give a thumbs up to this video, share it with your friends on Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, whatever social media platform you use. And throughout the video, if you have any doubts, any comments, any suggestions for me, you can always leave them in the comments section below. And finally, thank you so much for watching this video. See you in the next one.